This is the American Arson podcast, where our goal is to spark creativity. Whether you're a musician, an artist, a writer, or an entrepreneur, we're here to provide you with tools, tips, and insight from professionals and creatives that you can use to inform and inspire your own journey.
Hey guys, so today we have Hayden from Tigerwine on with us to tell some stories, talk about their most recent album, and have a good old time.
Yeah, and if you hadn't noticed, this is episode 10 of this season, so this is the season finale for us.
Last one.
Yeah, so go cry your tears and sulk for a little bit, but then
all 17 of you.
You're right. we lost 9 since last week, but we will absolutely be back. We're having a good time doing it, and we really do appreciate all of you that have reached out to say that you're getting something out of it and that you're enjoying it, or left a comment or anything. So we'll definitely be bringing it back for season 3. That date is still TBA. We've got some other stuff that we want to work on in the meantime, but what we will be
some
back.
Other unannounced projects.
Yes. Yep, some other things. That's all we'll say.
Mysterious. So in the meantime, while you're watching, for those of you watching on YouTube, please head down below the video and check out all the links for Tigerwine and Hayden's stuff. He's doing a lot of cool features for people on a site called Featured X. So all those links will be down below. Also, if you could give our video a like and then hit subscribe and tap that little bell button right below the video too, so you get a notification once season 3 starts back up, and we're going to be doing some more content soon in the near future. That helps us out a lot. And for those of you listening, same thing. If you could give it a follow on whatever platform you're on, we'd really appreciate that. And as always, shoot us a message, leave a comment, let us know who you want to see, who you want us to talk to in season 3, and we will get to it. But for now, here's Hayden.
All right, Hayden, how is it going today?
Dude, I'm doing awesome. Thanks for having me on, you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for being
Thank
here,
you.
man. We appreciate it. You are in Colorado, correct?
That's true. Yeah,
Ooh,
Colorado Springs.
I'm gonna be
Awesome.
there in 2 months.
What for?
Me and a couple friends are renting out a house in Granby out by Rocky Mountain National Park. Doing some hiking and stuff like that.
Dude.
So
now's the time to do it for sure. It's like as slow as it would be even normally out there. Like there's even less people out there now. So
yeah,
I can't wait. That's what we were hoping. We were like, like now that things have settled down a bit enough to be able to travel some, but not everybody's back out there. So
yeah, at least that's what I've heard, I think.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
When we were out there, when we were touring out west, and we went up, we drove up Trail Ridge Road, and it was the middle of the summer, and we had a snowball fight up there, and it was pretty cool.
That's what I think I love. I have family that lives, Evan does too. We both have family in the greater Denver area. And
nice.
I love that area because like he said, you can be in the middle of July and you can go hiking in Rocky Mountain and have a snowball fight in a full winter coat and 3 layers, and then hop in the car, get back down to the town at the entrance, and just layer down into shorts and a t-shirt, and it's 70 degrees. And this is great.
Yeah.
So are you all from Colorado? Did you guys form there in Colorado Springs?
Yeah. Well, I say that, but so when we started, it was just we were a 3-piece. It was
nice.
It was Steve, Sean, and I, our now guitarist, our bass player, and me. And then at the time, Steve played the drums. And we basically, our drummer now, Shane, he filled in for Comrades for years.
Oh, cool.
You guys know Comrades, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they live out here now as well.
Virginia transplants.
Yeah. Shane filled in for them forever. And when we first met them and we were doing shows with them, we hit it. Shane was just one of us immediately.
Oh, cool.
So,
awesome.
And so when the time came when we were going to make our first full length, we were like, dude, we're wanting to do make a change in that area. And so we moved, he and his wife, he had gotten engaged, and we told him, hey, do you want to move out here and do this with us and go hard at it? And he was like, sick, let me get married real quick. And so we basically like all flew out for his
minor
wedding.
little thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And
We all
where
flew out for
was
his wedding,
that?
and then
Where
we
was the
flew
wedding?
back, and he like followed us in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
my
from
gosh.
Johnstown. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we have a bunch of friends, and I mean, just from touring there
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For sure. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. He and his wife are back out in Pennsylvania now. So
Okay.
yeah, they're living out there. He's like, he works with SJC doing stuff, and then
Oh,
he
nice.
works.
No way.
Hey,
Yeah. He works
Small
with-
world, man.
I know those guys
Right.
real
Hey,
well.
that's awesome.
I-
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
always
he's like-
talking to them.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, he's like one of those ambassador guys, I guess.
Cool.
And
Oh,
then
nice.
he does vans as well. So yeah.
Dang.
I'm 100% gonna shoot Zach and Mike a message and be
Awesome.
like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And does he play? I'm assuming he plays SJC kids
Yeah.
and stuff too. That's
Yeah.
awesome. What a
Yeah,
small world, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah,
It's
he
so
plays
funny.
a 14-inch rack tom, so we always give him a hard time.
Mine's 13, and I was literally just texting
Dude.
some of them. I was just texting some of those guys the other day. I was like, I think I want to get do another kit before like touring starts up again, like next album cycle or whatever. And they're like, all right, what are you thinking? And I was like, well, I know I have a 24-inch kick and like a 13-inch rack tom and stuff, but I think I might want to go bigger.
There you go. He's not the only
Dude,
one.
yeah, that's
then.
awesome. Yeah.
You guys can make we'll tour together one day, and you can make fun of me too. It's all
Dude,
good.
word, yeah. If you go bigger, he can claim the basement as the smallest one.
So help us fill in the gap then from the beginnings of Tigerwine until you guys signed with Tooth and Nail.
Dude, so basically we started and played local shows pretty much exclusively for like 2 years. We started in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
3 of us were in a band previously together.
Oh, cool.
And just that kind of ended, and then the 3 of us were like, yo, we should just keep doing stuff. And so we like changed the name. Well, I guess we just did something different. And so like 2 years in, we like kind of started thinking about like, do we want to take this serious? By that time we were all like 19 years oldish, around that area. And we like none of us were married yet. We were kind of like, yo, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And so we were like, we should start looking at trying to do deals or trying to, work with whoever. And Household and Comrades were coming through, and they played Denver 2 nights in a row. God knows why.
We did.
And-
Hey, we did that too.
We did that.
We
Where did we-
don't know why. We played at
Yeah.
Three Kings, and then we played at the where's the other place that we played? I don't know. We played it on the last.
The one
time
that
we
was
played
actually
too.
really sweet. It had the giant
Yeah, it
PBR
was the
mural
first
on the
night.
back of it.
Yeah, I got my acoustic guitar stolen there, so that was rad.
That's Yeah. Was
then
it
there was-
like a bigger place, or?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. Probably like a
No,
200
I was.
cap room.
That's
little
not the one
place,
at the
little-
PBR. I was
Oh,
thinking
okay.
of Minneapolis. Where was? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, who knows? Anyways,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
they played 2
played-
nights in a row.
Yeah, it was.
Dummies just like us.
Yeah. Was it 7 Circle?
It doesn't
At the
sound. That
time,
doesn't sound
maybe?
familiar. No.
Sounds-
Okay. Yeah. I like at the time. So they played 7 Circle and then a skate park as well.
Oh, cool.
Oh dang, that's right.
Yeah. So like we were like, yo, we got up like, we were kids, and so we were like, these guys are so cool,
Yeah.
If I could just do that one day, I could die happy. And like nowadays that tour they were doing, they were van sharing, like they were doing 40 days just to try to make a little money, like
Right. Yeah.
just going so hard for like no reward.
Yeah.
But which I mean, but at the time, like I would have given anything,
Yeah.
And so we were like, dude, let's go play this show and see if we can't like make some friends and like do something a little different. And so we went up and like we all hit it off super well. And like a little while later, we ended up starting talking with Blood and Ink, because we were on Blood and Ink for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
And so in Household and Comrades both at the time were.
Yeah.
And so we basically through them like kind of all started talking, and it definitely, our time with Blood and Ink was like, I know there's been some internet stuff and it's been kind of weird these days. Our experience was fine.
Yeah.
We never had any like rough things go on, like, as far as things that you would normally get with a label
Yeah.
anyway. So but yeah, so we did Blood and Ink for our first EP and our first full length. And during that time, it was just basically we were just touring our asses off, dude. It was just nuts.
Was it
and
DIY touring, or were you working with somebody?
mostly,
Yeah.
Mostly, yeah. It was like at first we pretty much just toured with comrades because they like, did everything.
Cool.
They knew how to do everything, and so we just
Yeah.
basically for a couple of years kind of learned from them, and then Shane and I did all of our like booking from that point. Yeah, and like I think there was only 2 or 3 trips that were like fully booked by agents. It was a lot of doing our own thing. So,
yeah, we know all about that.
Which I'm just gonna say, I'm sure you guys have been there for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's hard. Like we've had so many like negative experiences when we've gone out on tours that like either part or like some of like all of the part or most of the tour was booked by someone else, or like the responsibility for book, like where someone just like we're coming up to leaving for the tour and we find out we don't a show never got booked for a certain day, or like someone like booked these really sketchy bands that ended up dropping, or like just the band themselves ended up dropping and stuff like that.
That's at like a fish market or something, or like a
just random stuff,
hardware
like,
store. Hardware. You're playing on the 37th aisle of a hardware store.
Yeah,
and haven't joke about
thought
like,
about it since. Yeah,
exactly. We joke about like, we might have to start like, now that it's growing a bit, and like we both have a lot going on, and the band is a lot more active now. Like maybe there will be a time where we do have to turn all that side of stuff over to someone. But then I think about it and I'm like, I don't know if I trust anyone. like I don't know if I trust anyone to plan where I'm gonna sleep and where I'm gonna be each day,
dude. Yep, the vetting process is got to be intense for sure. Because like, I'm the same. Like we're definitely the same way. Especially now we're all pushing 30, and I'm still down. I think I got some fight left in me, but I'm not as down as I used to be to sleep on concrete every single night.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I still got a little left in me, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But what happened after that? Yeah, I mean, basically we did our EP and toured our asses off, and then we ended up, it's funny I say this because like we were on tour with comrades at the time. And we got a call from Blood and Ink, and they were like, yo, got some time with Goldman at Glow in the Dark, and it's in a month, and we were like, there's 13 days left of tour, and so we had probably 40% of a record written.
Oh wow.
And so like that was the time we basically had just asked Shane to be in our band, and so right at that moment we were like just blew Shane up with voice memos and things like that. We're like, dude, okay, you got to learn all this stuff, and like we're gonna fly you out. And so we got back from tour, and we basically had 2 weeks to write 60% of a record. And
wow.
So, yeah, so it was nuts, man. So it was insane how prepared we ended up being, just because we just
was it all just you guys getting in a room or a house and just like
at the time we were at the time we were complete idiots about anything audio or recording or anything.
Okay.
No clue what was going on. So but yeah, so like it was insane. It was super, super fun, but getting out there was like, an obviously full circle experience for me. Watching all those like Under Oath DVDs and stuff like that was really cool. And you think it's going to be really intimidating. And like, I was so nervous and freaked out, and Goldman and Nate and all the guys there were so accommodating, so kind. It was like, it's a really nice studio, but it's down to earth. Like it's not like you feel like you can't bump into anything, or it feels like it felt like home after a couple of days, man.
That's awesome.
So anyhow, it's too much on that, but we basically hit the ground running with that as well. And I think we definitely worked harder, not smarter for a while. And we just were like, okay, like tour. And I like wouldn't trade it for anything.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays we do things a little different because like we're all four of us are married now. I've got a almost 2-year-old daughter, and our
awesome.
bass player Sean has a 1.5-year-old daughter now. But yeah, so which I mean, still trying to tour a bunch, still trying to do the thing, but definitely do things differently now because like that was an unreal couple years, man. It was just a blur. And you guys know how it is, like stressful, so much fun at like just every day. You go from waking up like, man, I hope I eat today, and like I hope I don't have to drive too much, and or getting anxiety in the van because you've been in it for so long, and then you go to bed every night just like, this is the best thing ever, dude. Like,
I think about the times we made, like, I think back to like we did one tour where it ended in Oregon, and we're from outside of Detroit, and and it ended for God knows what reason. I still to this day don't know why.
The reason
I
is
think
because
it was
we were
a scheduling
maximizing.
thing.
Yeah, we were maximizing the amount of time that we had. We had to be back home in the amount of time that it took us to drive from Oregon to Detroit. So the choices were either route yourself back or end in Oregon and drive straight home.
So I just think about that. What was it, like 50 some hours that ended up taking us? Like between like just like a couple, like we would literally just pull off on the side of the road in a cornfield and just do the layover on the bench in the van thing. Or at that time we were driving we had a Evans pickup truck that we were pulling,
baby,
and one of us would just go crash in the bed of the pickup truck while we were driving.
It had a cap on it. We weren't like bouncing over the edge or anything.
So you're crawling in.
You could get in from the back, or you could go through the little window. You could squeeze through the little window.
You weren't bouncing out, but you would just kind of like if you were sleeping back there and you weren't buckled in, if someone, whoever was driving, hit a bad pothole or something, you were getting a rude awakening. But I think back to stuff like that, and I think back to like the present. And now when we're like working on a record or like we're doing stuff, and Evan may be like, all right, I'm working today, like he may have a new demo or something like that, and instead of being like, you know what, we both work till like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, like, I'm gonna drive over there, we're gonna bust this out all night, like we're gonna do anything like that, or like, how about let's hop on and like talk about this, just like, you know what, oh well, I'll text you, like I'll send you an email. Like I gotta get some sleep. Like,
dude, it's
catching up to us, I think.
The love of the game is strong in the beginning. I mean, and it still is. It's just, I think you hit an age where, and it's funny because I'm talking about like I'm old, I'm not even, I'm still young, but like you hit a point where I think getting it out of your system feels like the wrong term, but there's a thing that happens where it's like I did that and it was sick, and now I'm ready to do something a little different.
Well, it's really cool that I feel like we finally live in an era where those options exist to us. And I'm not even talking about COVID, because obviously that's changed the landscape for a lot of people, but I'm talking about just our accessibility, and I'm older, so when I grew up, it was literally, if
Evan's older than both of us. You said you're almost 30, so like we're probably about the same. I just turned 28 too. So
nice, there you go.
I'm 36, but I tweezed all the gray hairs out of my beard for this podcast today, so you probably can't tell that. So dude,
so, never
but so when I was, the scene I grew up in, it was like, if you didn't slap a paper flyer in my hand as I was walking out of high school that day, I didn't know about the show. You know what I mean?
There's no way.
So it really was, the grind was your only option, and now the grind is still like, and that's the first thing. I have never managed a band or anything like that, but if I was managing a band of young dudes, the very first thing I would do is put them on the road and let the road absolutely kick their butt, because that's such a character building experience, and it really does show whether you're going to be able to hack it or not. But I think that there's also alternatives to us now that exist, with all of the different things that we can do on the internet, and connecting with people through, whether it's through a live stream or whether it's just through a music video, or, we started this podcast, just trying to find a way to connect with other creative people and look at their creative process and then kind of share that with other people. There's things like, which I wrote down on my notes to talk to you about, but you guys got a chance to do Audiotree, which is just like an amazing, you know, from a fan perspective of watching bands that I enjoy, getting an opportunity to see them in a hybrid live/studio setting and really getting to see like a song being created and performed. It seems like a little bit of everything there. So there are those options, you know, that exist for us now. And but also there's, you know, you're never going to replace the feel of the live show. But how did you guys get hooked up with Audiotree, and what was that experience like?
Dude, it's funny. It was that was the very end of that same Comrades tour.
Oh, cool.
So the we were total fanboys of Audiotree. Like, it was the whoa shit. There you go. That was the coolest thing ever. I bumped it with my knee, but it must have been the same couple of days there, because I remember just being so lights out stressed, because we knew we were going to go to Atlanta, and then got Audiotree figured out, and so we're like, okay, it's really happening. And we I remember we were such idiots and such children that we didn't know what a stage plot was, and they
asked you if you wanted.
And we were just like Googling what is a stage plot, and it's
like that scene from The Office where he's like, "Hey Jim, can you get me a rundown by the end of the day?"
Dude, it felt that's exactly how it felt. Yeah,
does anybody have a rundown I can look at?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's like, oh, just keep it simple. Yeah, it was insane. But and then it was so funny. Like, they asked for like mic preferences and things like that, and I was just like, dude, I didn't know what an SM7B was. I didn't know what a condenser was.
One that works.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
I'm coming from the DIY touring scene. I'm like, if somebody didn't sweat into it or dip it in a beer beforehand, like,
it ain't gonna feel right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're saying that's good. Yeah.
You're saying you probably you know.
If you guys could stank it up a little bit, I'd make me more comfortable.
I love it when a place too, they'll be like, "Hey, we got SM58s," you know, and you get there and it's like you got an SM58 that it looks like somebody tried to
build the stage with this.
You walk on, you start jumping
dents in the grill cover.
Right. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's nice when the grill dents are like ergonomically correct to your mouth.
Yeah. Or I'm sure you've played a show before too, where the guy's like, I got a 10-foot XLR, so you got a mic cable that's just like stretching 4 feet in the air, perpendicular to the stage, to the guy's PA, who then, you know, put it on a desk and like slid it all the way up right next to the stage.
Dude, dude, my thing is always power.
The
power cables for the Voodoo Labs and like pedal power and things like that are so short.
They're like 18 inches long.
I know, it's awful. Yeah, and I always do this thing where I'm just like, okay, dude, when I get home, I'm buying a 10-foot one, and I never do. But yeah,
there's a lot of things I think of on tour that I never end up actually doing.
Dude, yeah, like, oh, and then I just completely got on a total sidetrack, but what ended up happening was like we got there and we're so nervous, and like it's funny, Glow in the Dark was like it diffused those emotions for one reason, because it was just so chill. And Audiotree completely diffused those emotions because they run such a tight ship that there literally just wasn't time to be freaked out or anything.
Okay.
We literally,
is there like a whole crew and everything there?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like they got a crew of probably more now, but at the time they had like 3 or 4 guys shooting us, and then they had a whole control room. We never even saw those guys, but like when they would like do the talk back, you could tell there was more than 1 or 2 or 3 people.
When they start filming you like right when you start taking your stuff out of the van. I watched yours, and like literally like, dude, you pull up and they're like, all right, you're like, you don't do anything stupid.
Dude, I know, it feels so cool. It's just like, man, I'm I'm really doing it, Mom.
Yeah.
You know,
Got like a close up of your socks or somebody's socks. I don't know.
dude.
whose
Yeah.
socks it was, so
Yes.
they're
I
just
was
like-
so pumped on that. I was like, because at the time, I would like comb my hair all nice. It was all short.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was a sock guy because I didn't have a personality yet. And like, dude, yeah. I remember being like, that was cool that they caught that. But
There's the title below the video.
yeah.
Sock guys don't have personalities.
yeah. Yep, dude. That's what you put in place of
That's
it
the
till you
clickbait.
figure it out. Yeah. Poor kid I was. But yeah, like, dude, you just get there and you load in, obviously. And they like, I think we used a house kit. I think it was a CNC that just ripped. I think we were sharing gear with comrades, so we either used comrades gear or house cabs and stuff like that. But yeah, everything's set up perfect. They've got, you know, everything's so figured out. And so the host guy, I forget his name, he was such a sweetheart. Because he left Audiotree recently. He's a guy with the beard. God, I can't remember.
Yeah, he does like the MC. He like comes out and like introduces you.
Yeah. The guy at the time on ours, it was funny. Sean, our bass player's in-laws are all from Kalamazoo, and
Oh,
he
cool.
was like, oh yeah, I'm actually quitting soon to move near there. And so like he's from, you know, he's probably near where you guys are right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not far.
That's the
couple
other
hours.
side of the state from us, but not too far. Yeah.
Oh, word. There you
Yeah.
go.
Cool.
You know? But yeah, so like we sound checked, and then he took us in the other room, and it was literally 11 a.m. And he was just like, he's like, you guys want to try local beer? And we're just like, dude, yes. Like, absolutely, I do. And so we're drinking beers at 11:30 a.m. or whatever. And so we're like talking to this dude, and so he goes, cool, do you guys want to head out there? And we're like, sure. And so we head out, and the control room guy comes on, and he's like, hey, run through 30 seconds of a song. And we were like, cool. And so like not looking at the time at all, their live stream starts at noon. And so like I had no idea what time it was. He's like, yeah, run through 30 seconds of a song. And so we ran through 30 seconds of the first song. We're like, is that good? He was like, yeah, you guys good? And we're like, yeah. And he goes, cool, we're on in 15 seconds. We're like,
Whoa.
oh my God. Like, so it was just like, because I thought we were gonna be like, cool, wait for 5 minutes, get super anxious.
Yeah.
and
Run to the
nervous.
bathroom one more time.
Yeah. And like, yeah, just lose my mind. But yeah, it was just like, okay, cool. We're
Don't
sound
have
checked.
time to
Now
think about it.
Now it's time to get nervous. And it was
Yeah.
like, nope, we're going. So yeah, it was unreal. And we just it was so funny. It was day 28 of a 30-day trip.
Wow.
And, like, so I just remember
Jeez.
being shredded, and I felt terrible. And like we all, like, it was so funny. It's stuff that not many people probably notice, but like we just rushed the shit out of every song. Just like everything was 15 BPM faster.
So they
than
didn't
what
have
it
you guys
was.
on like a click or anything there? Because I've always
Well,
been
so-
interested in that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
at
so
Audiotree.
Steve at the time, Steve was drumming to a click, and we would just follow him.
Okay.
The thing about, and I don't know if it's like this anymore, but at Audiotree, it's a shared mix, and so
Okay.
obviously at the time we were like, dude, I don't want too much click, which now I'd be like, dude, pump that.
Right.
in there, man.
I don't
Yeah.
want to hear my bandmates. I only want to hear the click.
I know, dude. Come on. Yeah, give me that vocal and nothing else. If I play guitar good, that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that was absolutely unreal. And like at the time, it definitely was too not big, but too professional of a place for us, I felt like. And now, like, I would love to go back again and see, because like As Cities Burn just went and did
Oh man.
like one there, and I was like, dude, it would be so sick if we could connect and like see if we could do one again. Because I think, was it them who's done one before, or yeah, someone.
I remember seeing the Let Live one, and just man, of course, like, I mean, Let
Unreal.
Live's like one of my all-time favorite bands,
Yeah.
like that. But like, I remember seeing Jason just absolutely destroying the place,
Yeah.
like he normally does. But just
Dude,
thinking,
I remember wondering, being like, I wonder if he'll chill out for that. Like, nope.
yeah.
The answer is no.
Not at
No,
all.
if you're inviting them, if you
gotta
were
know.
inviting them, or any project he's involved in,
Yeah, you
like,
gotta know.
you just know, like, all right, we're buying all new equipment after this set. Like,
yeah, Energizer Bunny, dude. Yeah. Oh man,
that's
I got so
awesome. That's
sidetracked.
so
You had originally asked about what happened up to now, and I just got all sidetracked. But
That's okay. That was
Oh, it's
actually
all good.
part of that.
That's-
It was in
that's-
between the
that's-
beginning and now, so it's totally fine.
that's
baby.
the fun of this. That's why we give ourselves so much time. We can
well, sweet. Yeah.
dig into some stuff some more.
Where even were we? I don't know. I mean, dude.
I think we backtracked a little bit from your full link to Audiotree, but yeah, we were talking about just kind of how you guys got linked up with Tooth and Nail and
oh yeah, dude. Tooth and Nail had been talking to dude, man. When you say it all at once like this, it's so funny how you realize certain people were just so instrumental in everything. I remember when we were deciding whether we wanted to do Blood and Ink, and it's not like we had a bunch of offers, but we were talking to the guys and comrades about like kind of what they were looking at, and he was like, dude, you ought to hit up this guy Adam at Tooth and Nail. They're kind of looking, and I think you guys would get along really well. And because they ended up of course, that's funny. I asked if you guys knew them. You got because of FaceTime.
Yeah, they ended up with FaceTime.
Obviously.
they're on that one label.
Yep. Yeah, they ended up there instead. But I remember we emailed a little bit and it just didn't, we just kind of fizzled out. I don't know why, but oh, my dad's FaceTiming me. Yes.
Let's get him on the call.
Timing.
Get his opinion on all
Let's
this.
see if we can pull up an extra window for him on the side.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, it's totally fine.
Oh man.
So we have some questions about Hayden.
Yeah. We're gonna let your dad take it from here.
Yeah. How did this happen? Yeah. But dude, like we talked for a little bit, didn't go anywhere for whatever reason, because now like we hit it off so well with Adam, and like the guy is amazing. Every experience we've had with him has been unreal.
That's awesome.
But we talked then. A year after that, he had asked, what our like length with Blood and Ink looked like, and we talked for a little bit, and then I guess we were busy or what, and just didn't talk. And then 2 years after that, then it was like we weren't with Blood and Ink anymore, and Steve ended up hitting him up, and he was like, oh yeah, I talked with Hayden a few times, and then we all kind of got together and we were like, dude, why didn't we do this? Like, I don't know what we were thinking. I think we were just like, dude, yeah, don't think about a label, just tour as much as possible and like just get out there. But yeah, and I wish we would have talked sooner, because we have had the best time.
Awesome.
They have taken such good care of us. Yeah, it's been unreal.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah. It's crazy how when you get treated like that, it's just like, man, this is, there's so much, like when a label or like a manager or a booking agent, all that kind of stuff are available, it is, man, it's unreal. And that dude is so available.
You hear so many horror stories like in the industry of like, with like with a bunch of the bigger name labels and stuff like that, and bands that just whether got screwed over financially or got taken advantage of, or were like promised a bunch of things that they like weren't given, like you name it. And then like, we've heard a lot of the same from a couple of our friends on Solid State, and we would tend to say the same about Face Down, is like it feels like you get treated like family, which is, and like you said, like I know, like if I have a question about anything, or if I just want to like chat about stuff, I'll hit Jason up or someone and just be like, hey, like I'm thinking about, like, had this idea, what do you think? And we'll just but like you said, the fact it's so cool to hear like about bands having those positive, like, because I know we kind of, for a while when we were first starting the band, like had a bit of a negative perception of labels, and kind of were of that mindset of like, nah, like you were saying, like, nah, just DIY, just toured, like we don't need a label, like we'll never need one,
man.
Just beat the thing into submission out of your own sheer willpower, right? I mean,
which I feel like there was a time that worked, man. I don't no more.
No, you're right. I think there was a time where it was truly all just it was about true grit and nothing more. Grit more than talent, even, I think, for a while. But
on that note, you were being with Solid State and then releasing this album that you guys dropped this past year. Like you
guys are on the Tooth and Nail side, right?
Yeah.
Or Tooth and Nail.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
I didn't even pick it up, dude.
Sorry.
No worries. Yeah.
I didn't mean to be that guy, Jesse. My bad.
That was
That's all good.
I go back and forth between the two so flippantly that I just don't even.
Yeah. Oh no.
You guys don't scream enough.
Right.
You don't have enough black merch. If you have more black merch, you could be Solid State.
Right.
You don't have enough black merch. You know, the Tooth and Nail side.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. What was that communication like going into releasing an album and the craziness that has been the past year and a half or so? Like
Dude.
we had a similar experience, but it's interesting to hear like what other artists, like, was there any hesitation on their end or your end to release the record, or like?
Yeah, it's weird. Most of the album cycle was like kind of done before everything really went off the rails. So, which I don't know if it was a blessing or a curse, but basically we went and did the record, and then how did it go? We basically, when everything was done and we were ready to put it out, it was so funny. We had like an A&R meeting, which is like, it felt so weird and like we just didn't know what was going on. But it was so funny to speak to how awesome Tooth and Nail is. The marketing guy and Adam, and there's like another guy who's like I think he's a content director or something like that. Anyhow, all these people were all on this call. And it just, dude, it's so sick. They just make you feel like you're just awesome, you know? And they get on and they're like, yeah, so let us know if you guys have any preferences as far as these calls go, and like as far as working at, on this stuff, or like how you guys like to go about this kind of stuff, or like if we could do anything better, let us know. And we were like, dude, this is literally the most like attention that has ever been given to us,
right
as far as like release strategy and things like that, or even anyone asking like what we think about, how to go about the order of singles, or things like that. But yeah, so it was just, we just got pampered and it was badass. But
That's amazing.
yeah, so we like did the whole planning of everything, and we're like, cool. And it came out on May 1st, which like was just in time for nothing to be happening, which is so
right. Just in time for nothing.
Yeah, so I think because we made the record and then we sat on it for a little while before we like officially came on board with Tooth and Nail. And so I think what the feeling was we were just like, dude, we could wait. But thinking now about if we would have waited, because at the time, I know like back in, last February, March, I remember everyone being like, yeah, man, it's going to be 8 weeks before we can start,
Right.
Oh man.
Now, if you would have waited, you would still be sitting on that album.
Right. So. Yeah. And it would be horrible. And and you'd have that feeling where you're just like, dude, we have a whole nother record written, and it's like, we're going to have to,
Right.
So yeah, we'll see. But I think the feeling was like, dude, let's just get it out there. We've been, we haven't been able to put these songs out for such a long time. And so yeah, I think we thought let's get it under our belts. So
you guys, I'm assuming, are with the May 1st release, you're probably like us, where we've still never played a song live from our most recent album.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, most of it we haven't. We played like the don't play a song till you have a record thing.
Okay.
We are usually super good about that.
Yeah.
Except for this last time we ended up playing one of our, like the single Scarecrow. We played that at home. And I mean, the last few tours we did, we played it as well. Even though it wasn't out, which is a big bugaboo, but we that one was our slip.
Why not?
One that we did. Yeah. Just because I think we'd been playing 2 songs from one song from our EP, and then 5, it's more like 4.5 from the first record, for at that point almost 4 years. It was rough.
Yeah.
So I remember just being like, dude, I never need to play this stuff again.
Yeah. So. And people wonder why bands that have been around for a while, and some of the bigger artists too, like that have like songs from their first record or two, and there are several albums in, and people are always like, why don't you guys ever play that? And they're like, we hate playing that song. Like, we will never play it live again. And people are like, why? Like, what it do to hurt you? And you're like, no, I just played it 10,000 times. I don't want to hear it again.
Right.
Like,
yeah, dude, familiarity breeds contempt there.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so funny. Like, that makes me think of how like Tom York always talks about how he hates the song Creep, which how could you not, dude? Like they probably played that song for 10
Yeah,
years.
I'm sure.
Jeez, can
It
you
would be
imagine?
interesting to go back on. I always check out the Setlist FM website when I'm about to
Yeah.
go see a band and just kind of see
Uh-huh.
what they're playing. But it'd be interesting to check it out and see like how
Mhm.
many times have they really played it over the year, because I'm sure it's a lot of times.
Dude.
That's why I'm kind of on board with this whole anniversary tour trend, because all these bands I follow are like
They're
finally
forced.
playing.
That's the
like,
only way you can
yeah.
get them to do it.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Like a fit, but it also makes me feel old because now bands that I grew up with as like a younger kid are like 15th anniversary
Yeah,
tour,
yeah.
20th anniversary tour. And
Oh,
I'm
and
like,
I've heard a few of them say
oh no.
say things like, dude, I was 18 when I wrote this song. There's no way my vocal cords can hit that note anymore. So you guys are just gonna have to sing this part. I'm like, just tune your guitar down. But I don't know. It's too complicated. But,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, dude, that's so funny.
So did you guys had some like album release touring stuff plans in place that you weren't able to do, or?
Yeah, we were doing I think it was
Just to break your heart all over again and make you think about
Sorry
it.
for making you.
It's
Sorry
all
for
good.
It's
No,
been long
no.
enough, right? We're far enough
Yeah,
away from the
yeah.
hurt. We can talk about it now.
Yeah, we had two for sure, or at least that we were pretty sure. One for sure, one very confident, and then there were a couple other feelers we were looking at. Yeah, it sucked. We were looking to go, from May and just hit it hard till the holidays, I think, is what we were looking at.
Oh, wow.
And so it was a bummer because it was just like, dang, none of it got to happen. It's funny, the anniversary thing, we were hoping to do like a My Epic anniversary thing, 10-year thing with them. And it's funny, like, because that was like, that's one of our favorite records of all time. Of theirs,
the last band that either of us have seen play, because we played with them at Basetown Fest on March 7th, and that was the last. So that's,
there you go.
And they were the headliners,
Dude.
so that's the last band either of us have seen play live.
Man, yeah. Like, I don't know if I'm even, because if they do it, I might get in trouble. But no, I probably won't get in trouble. But they were going to do it.
We can always take it out after.
Yeah. We'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
they were going to do a 10-year yet tour.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, dude, and they were going to end it audio feed. And I was like, that's
we were going to be there
That's
too, man.
We were playing it with them.
That is the best thing ever. And so it's funny, I've been telling them, like, dude, you ought to do a 12 and a half year anniversary.
Yeah, there you go.
How funny would that be? That would be
dude,
so
I know.
perfect.
Like, and even if you don't have to let us come play it either. Like, if you just do it, I will drive. I don't care. Like, well, I want to see that so bad. I would watch it every night.
That's what some of these bands should do, who their 10-year, their 15, any of those kind of like round number anniversaries came up during this time.
It'd be
come out
so
with like,
good.
we're going to do the
3/4
13,
years.
the 13 and 7/8 anniversary of this album.
Yeah, dude. Oh man,
hey, people will
it'd be
still
so
eat it
good.
up just as much, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
I know I
for sure.
will.
'Cause,
So.
dude, yeah, it's so funny because like the 10-year, by the time they're able to do it, is going to be a different record now.
Right.
But,
well, now that we've kind of opened the wound up, poured a little salt in it and everything.
Yeah.
One of the things, and we talked about this a little bit, but one of the things we've been doing to kind of just keep our hearts all just kind of stoked for the days that touring returns is anytime that we have somebody on who has been involved anyway musically, we try to wring a tour story or two out of them. So I don't know if you have anything, but it sounds like you guys have been on the road for quite a while. I feel like you've probably got to have something good for us.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there are. I'm sure I'm forgetting so many, but the ones I've got, the two that come to mind are, I'll start with the less weird one. So
I end it with the most weird. I like it. All right.
Yeah. I always think of this like whenever anyone asks about like a crazy thing that's happened or whatever, or like when my in-laws, will be like,
right,
what's something, regale us with a tale or whatever. This is the one I always think of first for some reason, even though it's probably not the craziest one or the weirdest one. But like, I remember in Logan, Utah, this would have had to have been 2015. It would have had to have been 2015. Yeah. Maybe early 2016, but
okay.
We were doing, I'm pretty sure we were doing a solo tour to kind of like, it was the first thing that Shane and I had booked. So we were trying to test our hand and it was going so well. And I remember being so pumped. And there was basically so gosh, where do you even start? So I'm trying to figure out whether I want to back up or not. Yeah, I do. So we roll up into town, and it's near downtown. The venue is near downtown, and as you guys know, I'm sure Utah is very Mormon, and and Logan is like insane. It's like it was
that's
ridiculous.
like a big Mormon center there at Logan.
Right. Yeah. It seemed like it. Yeah. And that's the promoter was like, dude, it's crazy here. You're either a devout Mormon or you're like a crust punk. And so, yeah. And then they're both just constantly
what a mix.
Both of whom are clearly your target demographics.
Yeah. I was like, should we go? Yeah. So we like started we're walking around downtown, like see if we can find some food or anything. And on every lamppost, there's loudspeakers playing Morbid Tabernacle Choir. It was in December.
Whoa. Okay.
And yeah, dude, it was weird for sure. So they're like Christmas songs and like non-Christmas songs, just like choir music, just like really, really loud, couldn't talk to each other. And so we like play the show, it goes fine. We had a great time. And we do the thing, I'm sure you guys do this too, where when you're done and you're loaded up, because when you get to the venue, you take all of your because it's just a mess because you've been driving all day.
Yeah.
And you just kind of throw all your stuff on the ground and then you just go load in. Yeah. And so at the end of the night, you come back in the van and you're a different person, you know. Now you got your head on straight.
Yeah, the job is done.
And you're like,
we got that out of our system.
You have to play Tetris.
Yeah, dude, you're like, what were we thinking? Like, did everyone just turn their bag upside down? And so we always one of us that whoever's out first, we kind of just like, you know, you lean in and you kind of organize the house a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I was standing on the ground and leaning into the van, and it's one of those places. It feels really small. I didn't feel like anyone was out there. So I was just completely had the blinders on. I just didn't feel like there was anyone within miles.
Right. And
all of a sudden I just like, there's a hand on my shoulder, which that's funny now. I can't even imagine, but like there's a hand on my shoulder and I thought it was someone I knew or someone trying to get my attention. I said, "What's up?" And it was just like this guy I'd never seen before who was he was on another planet. He was like, he just was like, "Hey man, can we run by my place real quick?" And I was like, dude, I was like, where do I even begin?
You thought you were an Uber or something?
Dude, in a giant like sky blue van. But I was like, oh no, so it's so stupid that I said this, but like just in the moment, not panicking, I was like, oh dude, we're going the other way. I'm so sorry. Like no idea.
He didn't tell you what way.
Yeah, not a good backup story at all. So I was
busy
like, no,
that
we're going
day.
the other way, man. I'm so sorry. Yeah, right.
Oh, man, I got something, like I really wish we could, but
yeah, and like so he was just like, dude, it'll be so quick, and like just slurring his speech, like super messed up. I felt really bad, but so he just like kind of just grabbing at my hoodie, at my clothes, and so I just like start to kind of freak out. I'm like, dude, no, we can't. And by this time, everyone's kind of coming because we had settled up, we had loaded up everything, and we were leaving. And so everyone's like kind of getting in the front, and it's just me that needs to get in the car. And so I'm like, dude,
they're not stopping to like help you out with your situation. They're just like, he'll be fine. If he gets kidnapped, we'll replace him. Like, whatever,
dude. It's so funny. I'm certain that I have like stranded them the same way 100 times.
Yeah.
But because dude, it's so funny how you just
who's that weird guy messing around with Hayden?
Dude,
whatever.
It's funny that the threshold isn't even that high. It feels like sometimes if you see one of your guys in your band talking to a person that even like seems like a big punisher, you're just like, oh, I'm not going over there. Dude.
Yeah.
Like you can figure that out.
He's got it.
Yeah, he'll figure it out. Yeah. It'll be me next time. But anyhow, so this guy's like grabbing at my clothes and stuff, and I'm just like, dude, I gotta go. I'm kind of panicking. And and also at the time I had super undiagnosed anxiety really bad. I had no idea what was, making me so freaked out all the time.
Yeah.
Now I know, great. But so I kind of started having like a moment where I was kind of really freaking out. And so I just like do the thing where you're leaving the house and you don't want your dog to get out. And so like I get in the car And like, so it's the van has like the doors like this.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
So one is closed, one is open. I'm getting in, and he's like, please. And I kind of like give him a push, and I go to shut the door, and he just got his head in, like just in time. And I slammed this man's head in the door, and like felt awful. And I said, like, for some reason I said, go on, like a farmer, like, go on now, you know? And and I slammed this man's head in the door, and then I shut it. I said, I'm sorry. And we rolled out, and like, I just didn't hear the end of it for years, dude.
Yeah.
At what point
Hayden
did your bandmates notice what was going on? And like,
right, I think it was one of those things where they were like, oh, this is not good. But yeah, dude, every date of tour after that, they were like, when we'd see friends, we're like, yeah, Hayden tried to kill a guy.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, don't stick your head in our van because you never know what
dude, watch out. He'll show you. But
oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
Well, yeah, I just felt awful.
That's the less weird story.
Okay. What could you possibly have up your sleeve next?
I'm so glad you guys mentioned the ending really far away from where you're going. So
yeah, I'm good at that.
Yeah, dude. Like in 2017, I think it might have been 2018, but it doesn't matter.
Who knows? Time's all weird now.
Yeah,
it's not real anymore, dude.
No,
yeah,
not anymore.
Yeah. So we did, like, it was easily the most attended tour we had ever done. It was with our now great buds in a band called Daisy Head from Nashville.
Yep.
And another band from Florida called Northbound. They're like a pop.
No way. I didn't know Northbound. Oh,
dude,
that's crazy.
Yeah, they were so sweet.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, we go way back.
Yeah.
But yeah. Awesome.
Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Right on. Yeah. So we did the classic thing that you guys, I'm sure, have been through 1,000 times as well, where you it ended in Nashville, and we obviously had to get back to Colorado. And like, I'm pretty sure we did the same thing you guys were talking about, where it's like, yeah, I got a work day after tomorrow, so like, we can't stay here tonight.
Right.
So,
yeah, could have routed back, or we could finish the whole tour and then zoom back. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we say goodbye to everybody. It's so sweet. It's super fun. It's 85 degrees in Nashville. It was just gonna be fall. And we had just done kind of like a Northeastern and East Coast kind of thing. And so it was like, some days were cold, some days weren't. And we are all in shorts and t-shirts, leaving Nashville. And we like, dude, cool, 18 hours home. And we get going, and which is so funny. Like, this just sounds insane to someone who's not like, doesn't do this. Like, it's like, wow,
you're driving 18 out. I don't. Yeah. Okay. Side note, real quick.
I'm
glad you said that. Like, because every time I talk, my friends, when they're like, hey, let's plan a trip to Colorado this spring. Let's go do some hiking out there. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. Like, I go out there all the time, like, to visit family. Like, let's do it. Like, and I'm like, and they're like, okay, let's book flights for this. I'm like, actually, you guys know, like, before I realized how cheap flights are right now because of everything, I was like, you know what? Like, let's just hop in my Jeep and drive. Like, let's just do it. It'll be fun. It'll be a little road trip. They're like, they were like, are you kidding me? That far? I'm like, I'm like, what are you talking about? We can.
Is that even a day? 18. We can do 18 hours. We can do 18 hours in 9 hours. I'm pretty sure.
I was like, we'll leave.
6 hours left, dude. Yeah. Come on.
We'll leave Thursday night, drive through the night, and be there by dinner on Friday.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
All good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Anyway,
yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. That mindset is so funny. I'm with it. So it's basically hot, and we got the windows down and stuff. And so we did I think I slept the first night, and Steve and Sean, so Shane and I would have Was that yeah, of course. Yeah. So Shane and I would have slept the first night, and Steve and Sean would have driven. And I woke up the next morning, and we were in the Midwest somewhere, or I don't remember where we were at, but
it all looks the same at that point.
Yeah. I woke up so Steve does this awesome thing where he just leaves the windshield wipers on, and they're just squeaking for hours.
Long after the rain has stopped falling.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember it had like just started, and so I woke up to squeaking, and I was like, there, familiar morning, man. It's nice.
Yeah.
And so it just started like downpouring so bad.
Oh.
And I remember being like, and so it was everyone was like, I've never driven in rain like this. And of course, all the craziest times you've ever driven in your life are when you've got a van loaded down.
Yeah.
And
of course.
Like Brooklyn in the summertime, I remember driving the van, losing my mind. But so we are, trucking along through this like insane rainstorm, and it turns into snow at a certain point. And I started like kind of looking at what the weather was like at home and like near where home was at. And I was like, dude, this is like getting really bad. And so it was just really bad snow. And so we end up, longer story short, we end up in Kansas. And we were like, pull off the highway into this town called Dighton. And it's funny, I'll never forget what it's called because we pull off into this town, we get gas. And by the time in the time it took us to get off the highway, get gas and come back, every road in the town, they must have just watched us go by and did it, but every road out of the town was blocked. Was like had the road closed sign.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh no, like we're gonna spend the night in this town and possibly freeze to death. And so we were just like, we literally, it was just really, 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 really tiny town. So there was like, there's
no
like 5 or
big
6
hotels
roads
or
out of it.
anything like.
No, yeah. So we try every road, we're looking and we're like, dude, this is not good. So we went in the hotel. We're like, dude, we're just gonna spend everything we earned on tour on hotel rooms.
Oh no.
And so it like we go in and we're like, yeah, the lady was like, yeah, everyone's got the same story as you. Like we have literally no room. And so we were like, dude, that sucks so bad. So we're sitting there, we're like, man, does anybody have any service? Can we, watch TV while we die? And we're just kind of sitting there twiddling our thumbs and not knowing what to do and wondering if we're gonna like have a really, really awful night and like looking at when it's gonna start to warm up because the sun had been going down. And so we're like, dude, it's just gonna get colder. And so we're sitting there kind of freaking out. And like I look up at the rear view mirror and a plow is coming. And I'm like, here we go. And so the plow, so I started up the van, and was like, what are you doing? And I did the whole like, just trust me, I'm going in, and the plow goes, and I'm like, dude, here I go. And I followed it, and it went okay for a little bit. We probably got like 2 miles, maybe a mile and a half outside of the town before like he turned around. I don't think he knew I was there, but he turned around, leaving a pile of snow from the road.
Yeah, because he's probably like out of his jurisdiction at this, but he's
Yep,
like done with his amount that
absolutely.
he has to plow.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah, he turns around and he double takes me, and then he gives me a look like, dude, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm leaving. And so he left, and so now we're just alone in the middle of nothing with like a snowbank, and so we're like back to square one. So we're just sitting there, like, and now worse off because of me. And I'm just like, dude, I was like, sorry guys, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, maybe we can get turned around. It was really narrow little spot that he had carved out. And I was like, I bet we can get turned around if we figure it out. Or like, and I was like, dude, I'll get out and scoop snow if we have to. And so like, we're all just looking at our phones, just so depressed. And like a diesel pickup truck pulls up next to us, and he's like, does the roll your window down thing.
Yeah,
and I roll my window down. He was like this guy, this just like podunk awesome dude was like, I got a house a mile away, come on with me. And like he just blows through this snowdrift, and like I was like, are we going? And they're like, dude, we have to. And so like
we might get murdered, we might have a great night.
Because I was like, dude, we either definitely freeze to death or maybe get murdered.
Right. Yeah.
So, so I followed him. He ended up pulling 2 cars. So we would go, drive at, 10 miles an hour for 2 minutes. He'd pull off and help someone out of a ditch with a big chain.
Oh, wow.
That a couple times. We're like, this guy's a legend. He's awesome. And so like we pull up at this guy's farm outside of Dighton, Kansas. And he was just like, yeah, I just got divorced. Don't get many people up here to bullshit with me. So we were like, dude, here we are. And we get in, and our sweet bass player, Sean, he's just such a nice guy. he was just like, is there anything we can do? And he's like, oh, I'm glad you asked. Sure. And we had just we were just on tour in the early fall. We all had hoodies, and it is snowing sideways, like super high winds, like really, 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 really cold. He was like, yeah, y'all can go out and he's like pointed to this trailer with all this hay in it. And he was like, you guys can throw all that from my horses. And we're all out there in, vans and hoodies.
Oh
and
my gosh.
dying, like,
so he was asking, is there anything we do like kind of like earn our keep
to pay you back?
Okay. Yeah,
man.
Okay.
And he was just like, oh, I didn't think you'd ask. Sure. Like go, go
man.
do this. And we were like, oh man. So
wow.
yeah, but we ended up just watching NASCAR and drinking Bud Lights with this dude.
That's amazing though. Oh my gosh.
So how long were you guys stranded there before you were able to get out?
Dude, it was so funny. We could barely move at 6 p.m. and then we literally got up and turned out of his driveway, and 2 motorcycles went by us the next day. It was so good.
Oh, wow. So it's like the snow melted up and
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. It's so quick. Like we could have died, and like here at 9 a.m. the next day, there's motorcycles out. Unreal.
Yeah. All you had to do is sling a
Midwest
hay
for
and
you.
you got Bud Light and NASCAR out of it. So
yeah, baby.
That sounds honestly like it sounds like honestly like some people's like life plan. Like their 5-year plan. Like, I'm gonna sling a little hay. That'll get me enough to get Bud Light and NASCAR.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. So, dude, absolutely. Yeah, people would have killed to be in my position. But, dude, I remember he told us about. He was like, "You all from Colorado?" He's like, "Y'all know about Rocky Mountain Oysters, right?" And we were like, "Yeah,
yeah." I fell for that once. That once.
Yeah. So
my own family did it. My uncle and my aunt did it to me, man. And I was half a basket deep, and they were just like, hey,
dude. There are some restaurants who make them out here. Yeah.
Did you try to do it to?
Yeah, I tried to do it to you guys when we went out there, but the restaurant was closed.
You tried to do it to. Well, you tried to do it to us, and you tried to do it to a long time ago, and you tried. Well, you told me about it, and then you tried to. Was it Casey that you tried to do it to?
I don't know. I've tried to do it to a few different people. I've never been successful at
their reaction.
So there are people. There are a few, but there are people who like it's a delicacy. Like I guess out here there's some restaurants make them and stuff. But
yeah.
So this guy apparently he's into it. So because he was telling us all like the technique of how to harvest them.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's like it's got to be real sharp and real quick, and like no one asked. And like so he's telling us all this stuff. And he's like the reason I bring this up, if you guys can stay in town another day after tomorrow, we're having a nut fry. And like I remember being like, oh man, we gotta go.
So yeah, if anybody doesn't know what Rocky Mountain Oysters are, there you go.
Right. Yeah, because he was like, I put them in a big bowl with a bunch of seasoning and butter and all this stuff, and I shake them up and I put them on the grill and have all my buddies out and stuff.
Oh man,
it was so funny.
That's awesome.
But I was like, dude, because I think it's been a long time. I think I've tried them. I can't remember, but I was like, dude, I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, you're gonna stay another 36 hours.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah. I was like, dude, I haven't seen my wife in a month.
Yeah, wow. We'll just call him the legend of Dighton, Kansas.
Yeah,
Next
Farmer
time
Lucas.
We're in Kansas.
Yep, Farmer Lucas. We call him. Lucas. Well, his name was Lucas, but yeah.
Awesome. Wow.
If we're ever
he's
driving
probably
through
listening
Kansas
right now to this show, just remembering fondly.
Like, I've been following those boys. Yeah.
Did you tell him? Did you you guys? I mean, I'm assuming he found out you're a band, like you're on tour.
You sling him a vinyl or something.
I wonder if he's still if he's like,
I think we must have given him something. I can't remember. Yeah, dude. Yeah, like speaking of Solid State, we did like a thing with Silent Planet a few years ago, and it was the worst. It was awful. Not because of them at all, and not because of the shows. Our van died, and that's a whole nother. That was the worst 2 days of my life. I should have told that.
We'll do we'll do a part 2.
Yeah. We'll have to bring you back on once we get rolling again.
Like the guy who ended up towing us was just an insane person. But at the end of it, he was just like, "Y'all got a shirt for me?" I remember being like sure. Like the money I gave you wasn't enough,
right?
But yeah. But anyhow, that's Farmer Lucas.
Oh, that's great. Well, Hayden, thank
Yeah.
you so much for being on with us today. And
Dude.
I know for the last, I don't know how long has it been out now. It's been, not quite a year, but since your album came out, Nothing Is For You, I've been jamming that thing and I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
And
so much.
I'm hoping that if somebody doesn't know who you guys are, that they look you up and stuff. But if somebody's interested in finding out more about you guys, we'll have all your links and stuff down below. But
Plug really
Thank
quick.
you.
Where can they find you? Where can they find the
Yeah.
band? Where should
Yeah,
they look?
dude, so the band obviously is on all kinds of social media. I'm trying to think if we have anything coming up. Just like everyone else, we're just kind of trying to get creative. So
Yeah.
Surprise album you're
Mhm.
trying to announce.
dude. Yeah, dude, do like rappers do, where they just surprise drop.
Just
Dude,
drop
how-
it.
how
Sell
much of a
one
power-
single
power
copy on
move is
eBay.
that? Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they don't worry about it at all. It'd be so funny if we did a surprise, like, dude, 10 people. But yeah, obviously we're writing, we're demoing, we're doing all kinds of stuff. So there is a future for us for sure.
Awesome.
So I would just say keep an eye out, like every band on earth says right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously all the Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, and LinkedIn, all that stuff.
Yeah, so for everybody watching on YouTube, we'll make sure to put those links
Sure.
to where you can find
Yeah,
them right
we have
below.
quite a few music videos right on YouTube.
Awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you're
Check 'em out.
listening on Spotify or Apple or another platform, head to YouTube
Yeah,
and click those links, or
MP3s on those very websites. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just
And the Audiotree performance that we talked about is also on YouTube.
Yes.
'cause I
Yes,
watched it
we were
today,
little babies, and we don't play. I don't think any of those songs anymore.
but it's still
But
cool.
It's definitely
still cool to see.
It's good for the vault, baby. Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody can
There
see
you go.
the socks too if they check that out. so.
Dude, yeah, yeah. Let me know if you're watching this on YouTube. You should comment what you think of my sick socks, dude.
Awesome.
But yeah, and also like I do. If anybody is, I'm doing a bunch of songwriting and like a little bit of producing now.
Oh, cool.
So
Awesome.
if anybody has ever heard of, there's a new site. It's called Featured X. Is what I kind of
yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys in Fit for a King and Off-Road Minivan. He basically does all of the A&R for that.
Cool.
And so that's what I've been working on. But I mean, if anybody wants to do any songwriting, or I'm just, I'm really hitting that really hard lately. And so
Awesome.
That's awesome.
if anyone has ever thought of us or thought of doing anything like that with us,
Heck yeah.
whether it's a band thing or not, that's something that I am like totally down for and trying to do. So
Awesome.
We'll
yeah,
throw that down
little
below too.
plug. But
Yeah. We'll throw the link on there for that too. Awesome. Well, Hayden, thank you so much for being on with us today. And
Thank you, guys.
hopefully we'll get a chance to see you in person.
In 2025 when
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. We'll see you then.
Yeah. We'll grab some Bud Lights and watch some NASCAR. So.
Yeah, baby. Sounds good.
All right, Hayden. We'll see you
Bye.
soon.
See you, boys.
Thank you for listening to the American Arson podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to leave a positive comment or review. Connect with us online through Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or Twitter, and check out AmericanArson.com for music, merch, and upcoming tour dates. We'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, stay inspired, stay positive, and keep creating.